This conference has been called because Makerere, we needed to showcase to the world the research undertakings that have been organized at Makerere from the year 2000 to date. We intend to present the research outputs and achievements under 5 sub-themes. These will include health and health systems, natural resource utilization and environmental sustainability. We shall also feature food security and value addition, culture, socio-economic development, social justice and governance in this country, and also advances in education, science and technology. The Makerere Swedish Collaborative Research Program has been in place since the year 2000. And I will tell you that to date, the Swedish government has invested over 515 million Swedish krona in this collaborative program. This is equivalent to about 75 million US dollars. And we are proud of the research infrastructure that has been built with the support of the Swedish funding. It is important to note that this collaborative research program has helped to enhance the human resource capacity at Makerere, and the spin-off results of this are evident in this university. Makerere is currently contributing enormously to the national development agenda of this country in the area of innovations and technology. Our research findings have helped to inform the research policy in this country, and also policy formulation is now evidence-based, and we are about to achieve a knowledge economy in this country. We are pleased to note that based on our successful implementation of the 3 phases of the collaborative research, we've been invited to submit a successor research proposal to the Swedish government that I can say today has been accepted. So in the next 5 years, Makerere will enjoy another phase of research funding of about 300 million SEK. This is about equivalent to about 40 million US dollars, and we believe that with this level of funding, we should be able to build the centers of excellency that will transform the research terrain in this country. The research results emanating from the collaborative research projects have allowed both Uganda and Swedish government to impact on humanity in various capacity. So we are very grateful for this collaborative research program that is helping to transform societies in our country and beyond.
Makerere University is on course to becoming a research-led university as required by our strategic plan, largely due to the support that we have received for research and graduate training, mainly from SIDA. With SIDA support, we have been able to train close to 400 PhDs. That is almost a half of all the PhDs in this country, and you can say a half of the PhDs in Uganda, because the majority of the PhDs are at Makerere University. I would like, on behalf of Makerere University, to thank SIDA for this great support and the people of Sweden for their enormous contribution to our research.
We in the College of Health Sciences, we are extremely grateful to SIDA for making us the winners in Makerere. 10-20 years ago, in the college, we hardly had any PhD graduate. Today, as we talk, in 2015, our college has the highest number of PhDs as faculty, as teachers. And this is largely due to the SIDA support that has taken our students, in inverted commas, because most of them are teachers, and trained them on the sandwich model. Our research output has been enormous. So we have over 500 papers, very good papers, published in internationally referred journals. This has contributed enormously to the high ranking of Makerere. I'll give a few examples of some cutting-edge research, one of which is Dr. Roy Mayega's study in eastern Uganda, where he found that up to a half of the population, both men and women, had diabetes or were about to to get it, and high blood pressure. These are very dangerous diseases that lower our lifespan. So through his research, the Ministry of Health is able now to mount screening exercises and get to know that these people have high blood pressure or diabetes and treat them. In our college, SIDA gave us some money to have seed grants for us to give young researchers and young lecturers about $5,000, and then they develop their ideas and experiment. And I'll just give you one example. One Dr. Fred Bwanga was able to develop a method, a molecular method for diagnosing sickle cell anemia, which we normally don't diagnose with molecular method, but he has developed a method like that. And one other person developed a method of measuring vitamin B deficiency amongst mental health patients. So we are really grateful for this support, and we hope that given the big capacity we've developed, we can then use this expertise and knowledge and facilities to train for others. And this is why we are now helping Gulu, we are helping Busitema, and to a less extent Mbarara, and to a large extent Juba University in South Sudan.
I'm Dr. Joan Muhumuza Kakitahi, staff at the College of Engineering, Design, Art and Technology. I have been a beneficiary of a research program that has been funded by the Swedish International Development Agency, particularly under phase 2 of that program. The research program was a collaboration between Makerere University and Lund University in Sweden. And I have been able to complete both my licentiate and doctoral degree programs at Lund University in Sweden. The focus of the study was studying quality failures in the construction of public buildings in Uganda. In particular, the phenomenon of rework, which occurs or was known to occur in the construction of our facilities. The key findings, however, of the research were that rework not only occurred in the design and construction stage, but also occurred in the operation and maintenance of these facilities. Other related findings were that public sector graft was contributing significantly to the occurrence of rework. In particular, the unfortunate incidence was that the end users of the facilities were the ones incurring the costs of executing this rework. I am particularly grateful to SIDA for this opportunity that they gave me, and especially the opportunity for the regional collaboration that took place with Eduardo Mondlane University in Mozambique as well, and Lund University in Sweden. The hope at this stage, and something that I feel I'm benefiting from already, is the opportunity to translate what has been learned from the research into my professional assignments, in particular monitoring aspects of quality in the construction of our public buildings.
I worked on the epidemiology of African swine fever in domestic and wild swine in Uganda and factors for its persistence. I looked at the dynamics of African swine fever virus on domestic pig farms in Masaka and Rakai, and the possible existence of long-term carriers. In my study, I was able to establish that the role of long-term carriers is non-existent, but however, we're able to demonstrate that a number of practices, a number of risk factors do exist, and that the spread of this disease is normally occasioned by practices that exacerbate the spread of this disease. We are also able to look at the interactions between domestic pigs and wild swine, especially as far as interactions are concerned. We're able to show that there are interactions, possible interactions, which can facilitate spread of African swine fever virus. This information, we have already disseminated it to farmers, and already they have they have told us, they have given us the feedback that they are performing better than they used to. Lastly, we're also able to present this information in an international conference where it won us an international award that was in London in 2012. And of course, this information has been published, and I was able to graduate this January with my doctorate, and I would like to appreciate the government of Sweden through the Swedish Embassy in Kampala for the financial assistance that made all this work possible.
I received support from SIDA to research on how a new innovation by World Health Programme could be used to improve treatment on common illnesses that cause deaths in children, and that was malaria and pneumonia. So this new innovation involved use of community people to treat the children, and contrary to our thinking that they would not be able to manage this, they were actually able to treat the children with minimal impact on negative use of drugs in the community. So I wish to thank SIDA so much for that contribution to reduction in children mortality in children, and also advancement of my career, because I've been able to advance professionally. I am now an associate professor in the College of Health Sciences of Makerere University.
With support from SIDA, I did a study on 2 diseases associated with diarrhea in piglets and growing pigs. In one disease, we were able to find that by confining these piglets and growing pigs, the disease can be drastically reduced. And in the other one, we found that by using vaccines, most especially one type of vaccine, that disease could be really controlled. This study was supported by SIDA 2010 to 2014. And this research, we have published currently 2 papers in the international journals. We have 2 more under preparation to be submitted for publication. I thank SIDA for the generous support which enabled me to do this work and to visit even some of the best laboratories in Europe, in Sweden.
My study was about how geographical information technologies, the likes of GIS, remote sensing, and GPS could be used to boost the road infrastructure maintenance sector of the country. I particularly defined a methodology that we could follow in trying to accentuate the use of these technologies in the sector, and also designed a geographical data model for the sector focusing on Uganda. I have since then benefited from this study, considering that I enrolled into the PhD at the position of assistant lecturer in the Department of Geomatics. Currently, I am a lecturer and will soon be submitting my application for promotion to senior lectureship. Additionally, I have enjoyed participating on a couple of projects as an expert of geographical information technologies, not only in the road infrastructure maintenance, but a variety of disciplines like mapping of wetlands, managing of water resources. I have just completed facilitating a project where the traffic routes, mainly for taxis in Kampala, have been mapped in order to come up with a transit map for the city, which should be complete probably by the end of the year. I wish to acknowledge SIDA, for I have personally developed through that mentorship of PhD training. The fact that the program was sandwiched has also been very beneficial to me, because I have managed to maintain my family alongside developing my career.